Surah 18, along with 32, 50, 62, and 76 are great ones to say from a sunset Thursday to a sunset Friday. Of course, the first 10 verses and the last 10 verses of this chapter are used as a cure, a preparance for the end times. So consider this as the Islamic book of Revelations, if you're going to consider that context. But you'll notice some key difference between that sort of idea. Al Kahf, the cave. In the name of Allah, the merciful, the compassionate, praise be to Allah, who has sent down upon his servant the book, and has put in it no crookedness, but has made it direct, that he may warn of grievous vengeance from his presence, and give good tidings to the believers who do righteous works, that for them there is an excellent reward, wherein they will abide forever, and warn those who say, Allah has taken for himself a son, and they have no knowledge thereanent, nor and their fathers. It has grown big as a word that comes out from their mouths, but they say naught but a lie. Maybe thou art going to wear thyself out in vexation, following their footsteps, if they do not believe this discourse. We indeed have appointed whatsoever is on the earth to be an adornment thereof, that we might test them, which of them is best in works. But we are surely going to make what is on it a barren expanse of earth. Or hast thou considered how the companions of the cave and of information were a wonder from among our signs, when the youths fled for refuge to the cave, and they said, O our Lord, grant us a mercy from thyself, and prepare for us a right direction for our affair. So we smote upon their ears in the cave for quite a number of years. Then we raised them up, so that we might know which of the two parties was the better at reckoning the time they had tarried there. We shall relate to thee their story in truth. They were youths who believed in their Lord, and whom we increased in guidance, and we girded up their hearts when they stood up and said, Our Lord is Lord of the heavens and the earth. Never will we call upon any deity other than him, for in that case we should have said something outrageous. These people of ours have taken for themselves deities other than him. Would that they could bring some clear authority for them. For who does greater wrong than one who devises some lie about a law? Now, since ye have separated yourselves from them, and that which they worship in place of a law, flee for refuge to the cave. Your Lord will extend to you of his mercy, and will prepare for you some settlement of your affair. Thou mightest see the sun, when it arose, incline to the right hand side of their cave, and when it set, turn off to the left-hand side of them, while they were in the open part thereof. And that is one of Allah's signs. The one whom Allah guides is really guided, and whom he sends astray, for him thou wilt never find a patron who will direct aright. And thou wouldst have thought them awake while they were asleep, and we were making them turn over now to the right, now to the left, while their dog at the threshold was stretching out its paws. Hadst thou caught sight of them, and thou wouldst have turned from them in flight, and been filled with terror of them. And thus did we raise them up, that they might question among themselves. Said one of them who spoke, How long have ye tarried? And they said, We have tarried a day or part of a day. And they said, Your Lord knows best how long ye have tarried. Send now one of you with this money of yours into the city. Let him observe where therein the food is purest, and let him bring you provision therefrom. Also let him speak courteously, and not discover you to any one. For they indeed, if they get hold of you, will stone you, or will force you to return to their religion, in which case ye will never prosper at all. Thus then did we make folk acquainted with them, that they might know that Allah's promise is true, and that the hour is something about which there is no doubt. When the people were disputing among themselves about their affair, they said, Build over them a building, their Lord knows best about them. Send those who prevailed in their matter. We shall surely set up over them a place of worship. Some will say 3, their dog the 4th of them. Others will say 5, their dog the 6th of them, making a shot at the unknown. Others will say 7, their dog the 8th. Say, My Lord knows best what their number was. None but a few know about them. So do not thou dispute about them, save where the issue is obvious, and do not ask anyone from among them for an opinion about them, and never say about anything, I am going to do that tomorrow, without adding, should it be that Allah wills, and make mention of thy Lord when thou hast forgotten, and say, Maybe my Lord will guide me to something nearer right direction than this. Now they tarried in their cave 300 years, and added thereto 9. Say Allah knows best how long they tarried. His are the unknown things of the heaven and the earth, how well he sees and hears, and they have no patron other than him, and his associates, he associates no one in his wisdom. So recite what is revealed to thee from the book of thy Lord. There is no one who will make alterations in his words, nor wilt thou ever find a refuge other than him. So content thy soul in patience, along with those who call upon their Lord in the morning, and in the evening seeking his face, and let not thine eyes be turned away from them, seeking the splendor of this present world, and obey not him whose heart we have made careless of remembering us, who follows his desire, and whose affair has become iniquitous, and say, The truth is from your Lord. So whosoever wills, let him believe, and whosoever wills, let him disbelieve. Truly, we have prepared for the wrongdoers a fire, whose canopies will surround them. And should they ask for moisture, they will be moistened with water, like molten metal, which will scald their faces. How terrible a drink, and how evil a place in which to recline, and how bad a place in which to recline. As for those who have believed and done righteous works, we shall not suffer the reward of one who has worked well to be lost. Such have gardens of Eden, beneath which rivers flow, in which they will be adorned with golden bracelets, be clothed with green robes of satin and brocaded silk, reclining there on couches. What a wondrous reward, and how excellent a place in which to recline. Now set forth for them a parable about 2 men, for one of whom we appointed 2 gardens of grapevines, both of which we girt about with palm trees, and between them set plots for cultivation. Each of the 2 gardens yielded its edible fruits, and did not come short thereof in anything, and between the 2 of them we caused a stream to flow. Thus he had fruit. So he said to his friend, as he was conferring with him, I have more wealth than thou hast, and a mightier family. So he entered his garden, doing wrong to himself. He said, I do not think that this will ever perish, nor do I think that the hour will ever come, and even should I be sent back to my Lord, I shall surely find something better than it in exchange. His friend said to him, while he was conferring with him, Dost thou disbelieve in him who created thee from dust, then from a drop, then fashioned thee as a man? Indeed, he is Allah, my Lord. And I shall not associate anyone with my Lord. Why didst thou not, when entering thy garden, say, What Allah has willed? There is no strength save with Allah, even though thou seest that I am thy inferior. With regard to wealth and children, it may be that my Lord will give me something better than thy garden, and send upon thy garden a thunderbolt from the sky, so that by the morning it is a slippery expanse of earth, or by morning its water has become so deeply sunk that thou wilt never be able to reach it. So his fruit was encompassed by destruction, and he was that morning wringing his hands over what he had spent on it, for the vines were wasted on their trellises, and he was saying, Oh, would that I had not associated anyone with my Lord, and there was no party to help him in place of Allah, and he was not one who could help himself. There the protecting is Allah's affair, the true one who is best when it comes to reward, and the best when it comes to the final outcome. Set forth also for them a parable on this present life. It is as water which we send down from the skies, so that there is a mingling with the vegetation of the earth. But in the morning it is stubble, which the breezes scatter. For Allah has power over everything. Wealth and children belong to the adornment of this world's life, but in thy Lord's sight the things that abide, righteous works, are better in matter of reward, and better in matter of hope. On the day when we shall set the mountains moving, thou wilt see the earth an extended plain, where we have assembled them, and have not omitted one of them. When they have been drawn up before thy Lord in ranks, we shall say, Truly ye have come to us, as we created you the first time. Nay, but ye claim that we should never set for you an appointed time. Then the book will be placed before him, and thou wilt see the sinners alarmed about what is in it, and they will say, O woe to us! What a book this is that omits nothing, either small or great, but has made count of it. And they will find what they have done there present, and thy Lord will not wrong anyone. Also make mention of when we send to the angels do obeisance to Adam. They did obeisance save Iblis, who was of the jinn, and revolted against, who was of the fire beings, who was of the invisible beings, who was of the hidden beings, and revolted against the command of his Lord. Is it that ye will take him and his progeny as patrons instead of me? Why, they are inimical to you. How poor in exchange for the wrongdoers! I did not have them witness the creation of the heavens and the earth, nor the creation of themselves, nor was I taking as helpers those who lead astray. On a day he will say, summon those whom ye claimed were my partners. So they will summon them, but they will not answer them, for we will have set a gulf between them. Then the sinners will see the fire, and will imagine that they are about to be flung into it, and will find no place to which to turn from it. Truly, we have set forth for the people in this Koran every kind of parable. But human, more than anything else, as a cavalier, and not prevailed the people from believing when the guidance came to them, and from asking forgiveness from their Lord, save that they were going to follow the customs of former peoples, or that punishment would come to them openly. We do not send envoys, save as bringers of good tidings, and as warners, but those who disbelieve cavil with vain arguments, that thereby they may attempt to refute the truth, and they take my signs, and that by which they are warned as a jest. So who does greater wrong than one who is reminded of the signs of his Lord, but turns away from them? Forgetting what his hands have sent forward, we have set veils over their hearts, lest they should understand it, and in their ears a heaviness. So if thou summonest them to the guidance, even then they will never be guided. Yet thy Lord is the forgiving one who has mercy. Were he to take them to task for what they have earned, he would hurry on for them the punishment. But they have an appointed time, and they will never find a refuge apart from him. Those towns we destroyed when they did wrong, and we set an appointed time for their destruction. Also, make mention of when Moses said to his servant, I shall not stop till I reach the confluence of the two seas, of the two big bodies of water. Or, if I do not reach that, I shall go on for a long time. Then, when the two of them reached the confluence between them, they forgot their fish, so it took its way to the sea by a path. Then, when the two of them had passed on, he said to his servant, Bring us our morning meal, for we have become weary from this journey of ours. Said he, Didst thou notice when we went to the rock for rest? It was then I forgot the fish, and none but Satan made me forget to mention it, and it took its way wondrously to the sea, to the body of water. He said, That is the very thing of which we were in quest. So they went back, retracing their steps, and they found one of our servants, to whom we had granted a mercy from ourselves, and whom we had taught knowledge such as we have. Moses said to him, Shall I follow thee on condition that thou teachest me somewhat of the right guidance that thou hast been taught? Said he, Thou wouldst never be able to be patient with me. Indeed, how shouldst thou be patient about that concerning which thou hast no information? Said Moses, If Allah wills, thou wilt find me patient, and I shall not disobey thee in any matter. Said he, Well, if thou followest me, thou art not to question me about anything until I make mention of it to thee. So the two of them went along, till when they embarked on a ship, Al-Qadr, the green one, staved it in. Said Moses, Hadst thou staved it in order to drown its company? Truly thou hast done a grievous thing. Said he, Did I not say that thou wouldst never be able to be patient with me? Said Moses, Do not chide me because I forgot, and do not lay too difficult a thing upon me and my affair. So the two of them went along till, when they had met a youth, the green one slew him. Said Moses, Hadst thou put to death a guiltless soul? Truly thou hast done an unheard of thing. Said he, Did I not say to thee that thou wouldst never be able to be patient with me? Moses said, If I question thee about anything after this, let me be thy let me be thy companion no more, for truly thou hast now from me an excuse. So the two of them went along, till when they came to the people of a town. They asked its people for food, but they disdainfully refused to take them as guests. So they found there in a wall, just ready to fall down, but the green one set it upright. Moses said, Hadst thou so wished, thou mightest have taken payment for it. Said he, This is the separation between me and thee. I shall now inform thee of the interpretation of that about which thou couldst not be patient. As for the ship, it belonged to poor men who labored in the sea, and I desired to damage it, because behind them was a king who was seizing every ship by force. And as for the youth, his two parents were believers, and we feared that he might cause them trouble by his transgression and unbelief. So we wanted their Lord to give them in exchange a son, better than him in purity and closer in affection. As for the wall, it belonged to two youths. In the city who were orphans, and beneath it was a treasure of theirs. Now their father was a righteous man, so their Lord wanted them to reach their years of strength and bring forth their treasure as a mercy from their Lord. Thus I did not do it at my own bidding. That is the interpretation of that about which thou wast not able to be patient. Also they will ask thee about Dhul Qarnayn. Also they will ask thee about Lord of the Two Horns. Say, I shall recite to you some mention of him. Truly we made him powerful in the earth, and gave him away to everything. So he followed away, until he reached the setting place of the sun. He found it setting in a muddy spring. At the time of the sunset, he saw the sun set into a muddy spring, besides which he found a people dwelling. We said, O Dhul Qarnayn, O Lord of the Two Horns, two ways are open to thee, either that thou punish these people, or that thou take among them a way of kindness. Said he, As for anyone who does wrong, we shall anon punish him, and he will be sent back to his Lord, who will also punish him with an unheard of punishment. But as for him who believes and acts righteously, his is the reward of that which is better, and we shall say to him that of our command which is easy. And then he followed away, till when he reached the place where the sun rises, he found it rising on a people for whom we had set no curtain over against it. And thus it was, and truly we had full information about what was with him. Then he followed away, till when he reached the place between the two mountain ramparts, he found over against them a people who could hardly understand speech. And they said, O Dhul Qarnayn, thou with the twain horns, truly Gog and Magog are working corruption in the land. So shall we pay thee tribute on condition that thou settest up a rampart between us and them. Said he, That in which my Lord hath made me powerful is better, so assist me with such strength as ye have, and I shall set firm a wall between you and them. Bring me lumps of iron, until when he had made a level place between the two mountain sides, he said, Blow your bellows, till when he had made it red hot, he said, Bring me molten brass, that I may pour on it. So they were not able to scale it, nor were they able to dig through it. He said, This is a mercy from my Lord. But when the promise of my Lord comes, he will make it powdered dust, and the promise of my Lord is true. And we shall leave them on that day, surging like waves against one another. Then there will be a blast on the trump, and we shall assemble them all together. On that day we shall present the hellfire, Gehenna, in all its extent to the sinners, whose eyes have been veiled against my reminder, and who have become incapable of hearing. Is it that those who disbelieve consider that they can take my servants as patrons instead of me? Truly we have made Gehenna ready as a reception for the unbelievers. Shall we inform you about who will be losing their works the most, whose effort in this present life has gone astray, while they consider that their works are going well? And these are they who disbelieve in the signs of their Lord, and in the meeting with him, so their works have been in vain. For we shall assign them no weight at the weighing on the resurrection day, and that is their recompense, Gehenna, hellfire, because they have disbelieved and taken my signs and my messengers as matters for jest. Verily those who believe and do righteous works, the gardens of Firdaus, the greater paradise. The gardens of the greater paradise are a reception for them, wherein they shall abide forever, for they will desire no change therefrom. Say, were the ocean ink for writing down the words of my Lord, and the ocean would fail ere the words of my Lord fail, even though we were to bring as much As it again in addition, say, I am indeed only a man like you. It has been revealed to me that your God is one God, so let whosoever hopes to meet his Lord work a righteous work, and associate no one in the worship of his Lord. And so this is one of the chapters. 18 is one of those that was learned all at once. And people had shown up because they thought, we can prove he's not a prophet. And we know the 3 questions to ask him. And they asked him this. And this is what he recited, this chapter. To answer about the companions of the cave, the companion of Moses, and Cyrus the Great, Kurash, Mashich, yeah, the Messiah, Cyrus the Messiah, according to the Bible. Gog and Magog, or the Sakas, the tribes of the north, and building walls was something the Persians were very known for after the uniting of Persia and Media. And there's differences between the Quran and some other accounts, but there's never any evidence that's brought forward to favor the differences with the Quran in terms of that sort of things. If there's anything, it proves the Quranic aspect of the story right and the biblical or some other aspect wrong. But usually, in most cases, I don't think there's evidence per se, and it's a matter of I believe something different than you do. And an important thing, Moses was sent. Moses was sent to the Green One. Well, he was sent to somebody with more knowledge, very specifically by God. He was ordered. So that's a huge amount of difference between, that it's not that you obey the sheikh and whatever he has to say. It's Moses, as his gift as a prophet, was told, hey, go over here, go to where the cataract of the Nile, and you'll see something. And I'm going to leave that off. But there's symbolic references in this passage to the shifting of the ages and various things. But